Today is Sunday. I think today's date is the 7th. I might be wrong. But I'm on my vehicle, driving it. Feels good to be in here, but I got so used to driving my husband's vehicle. It's much better on gas than mine is. But I hope you can hear me because I'm using my dash mount, and it looks like it's kind of shaking, and then I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, the quality of this picture is not good, so I might have touched something I shouldn't have touched. But hopefully you can hear me. If not, this will not be uploaded. I hope y'all had a wonderful Sunday. We did. We went to church. Family and I went to church, and it was a very good sermon today. Gave us a lot to think about and meditate on. The pastor was talking about, he's preaching from 1 Samuel. I think it was on the 17th chapter today. But he has walked us through the story of Saul and how Saul was disobedient because he did not follow God's instructions about, destroying the people. What were they, the Amalekites? And how Samuel, rebuked him, and he wound up taking that King Agag out himself. And then today we were in chapter 17, where God sends Samuel to was it Bethlehem? I think it was, to meet Jesse and his sons, and tells him to go there and take the cow with him so he could do an offering, and that he was going to anoint a new king. And it was so good the way the pastor was comparing the kings after he went through David, how God chose David. First he talked about how in chapter 17 the Bible says that when Samuel stood before that first son of Jesse, what's his name, Eliab, my memory. Anyway, that first son he stood before, he said, "Oh, this must be him," because he looked kingly, I guess. He was handsome and all that stuff. And God said, "That's not him. That's not him." And he talked to us about, how you can't go by a person's impression, because man looks at how God told him. Man looks at the outward appearance, and God looks at the heart. And he talked to us about, how sometimes, people get voted in to do certain things in churches and stuff because they look that way and they sound that way, but they aren't really that way. It was so good. But then at the end, when he walked us through how God, chose David, this little shepherd boy, David, and why God chose him was he had a heart after God's own heart. And he talked about how, even though he talked about the parallels between David and Jesus, that Jesus would come through that lineage, although Jesus came through the lineage of David supernaturally. So he wasn't born a natural birth. He was born king. Jesus was born king. David was anointed to be a king, but Jesus was born a king. And he talked about how David sinned and fell short, but how Jesus hit the bullseye every time, never sinned. And how David couldn't build a temple for God because of the blood that was on his hands, but yet Jesus came and built the church from his blood, from the shedding of his blood. I mean, just all the parallels that he gave. It was just awesome. It was an awesome sermon. And at the end, he posed this question to everybody: what kind of heart do you have? Do you have a heart like David, a heart after God, that you want to please God, and you want to do the things that God would have you to do? Or do you have half a heart for God? Like you want to do half the stuff he wants you to do? Like King Saul was? He did a lot of what God told him to do, but not all of what God told him to do. Or do you have no heart for God? You just, what he say, you just coast. You hit the cruise control and you just cruise through. You be like, oh, I'm saved and I ain't worried about it, Well, are you constantly, even though you fall short, are you persevering? Are you running your race? Do you have a heart for God? Do you want to be changed to the image of Jesus? Are you walking in Jesus' footsteps? It was a concern. Very good. This thing keeps falling. Every time I hit a bump, it falls. But it was really, really good. And today, it is raining again. So every time I get in the car to do a car chat, it's raining. Like, what's going on with that? But it's raining and it's cold today. We've had like a couple of warm days where it was so bright and sunny and nice. I mean, it was almost like spring was coming, for real. And then today, it's cold. How many degrees do I see on my thing? I don't even know where to look for my temperature thing on this car because I ain't driven in so long. 4 degrees Celsius. I need to change that. I don't even know how to change my own stuff because I have not driven my own vehicle in so long. Let me see. System setup, units, metric. Oh, I can't do it right now. But anyway, it's cold. Just trust me when I tell you, it's cold out here. So, the plan today, y'all, I was making a video driving to my daughter's house, my oldest daughter's house. Still had my braids in that Jaren put in. And Jaren was like, well, Mama, why are you getting your hair done again? I just did your hair. It's only been like 5 days. And I was like, I know, but, my oldest daughter was offering to give me this free hairstyle, some experiment that she wanted to do, some kind of I forget the name of a French something. It was kind of a crochet where it's braided at the root but then it's loose on the ends. So I was like, well, I just want a free hairdo. I went down there, y'all. Took my braids, those braids that Jaren did, out of my head. It was only about, how many braids did I have? 9, 12 braids, something like that. Took them down. Perfectly good hairstyle. And my daughter, she's professional. She knows what she's doing. Tell me why she couldn't find all the packs of hair. She braided my hair down. She crocheted it. And it was kind of tight. I'm real tender-headed. And so is Jaren. We are both tender-headed. So we kind of get on her nerves when she does do our hair. But tell me why she put in 4 packs of that stuff, because they don't give you a lot. It was pre-lubed, and couldn't find the other 2 bags. So I left out of there needing some hair right there, needing some hair right there, needing some hair over there. I was like, for real, are you serious? So I was kind of like a little disturbed because of that. And also I was telling her while she was installing it, it hurts, it's tight, because she had to do like little individuals up front, because it's made to look like you got your hair braided individually and left it loose on the end. So the whole front perimeter of my head, she did little sections, put rubber bands on them, and then crocheted through. That was hurting. I'm sorry. I know I'm tender-headed anyway, but I was uncomfortable. So when I left out of there, I was kind of mad. I was mad. Ain't no kind of to it. I was mad because I'm already tender-headed. It was tight, and I was telling her it was a little too tight, and then I didn't have all my hair in. So I was like, you know what? She was like, well, I can order them off of Amazon Prime, and you can come back tomorrow. I'm like, okay. Tomorrow, I'm just going to see if I can find them in my city. I can go to the beauty supply and find this kind of hair and just fill it in myself, finish it up. Y'all, when I got home that night, I was tired. I was frustrated, and my head was tight. It was uncomfortable. Which I know when you first get your hair done and you get it in braids anyway, it's kind of uncomfortable at first anyway, because it's going to be a little tight. But I guess it was just too much for me. The frustration and all that stuff, plus it was tight and I was tired. I sat there and I took that stuff out my hair. Took it down. I just took it down. I was like, forget it. Forget it, because this ain't the color I like anyway. And one thing about me, I don't want too much piles, too many piles, looking like I got piles of hair on my head. And it kind of had that too much hair look to me. But I took it down. And I said, I know she gonna be mad with me. She probably not gonna be happy with me, but I'm taking it out. And I learned my lesson. Leave yourself alone. If you're okay, just leave yourself alone. Don't be trying to get something for free all the time. Leave yourself alone. Well, I should have just left myself alone. So now my hair is brushed back in a little poof ball in the back. Super sore. My scalp is super sore from that ordeal. So Sharon was saying, I'll put it back in the other braids. I was like, no, I ain't letting nobody do nothing to me no time soon, because my scalp is sore. It needs a break, and I'm giving it a break. I'm giving it a break, and I have learned my lesson. So the plan is today, I'm gonna meet up with some relatives, and we're gonna go eat some seafood, and I'm gonna drop her hair back off to her because it was pre-looped, and just drop it back off to her because it's perfectly good hair. I mean, it's brand new. My hair was clean, so I'm just gonna drop it back off to her and let her put it in her hair. That's what she want to do. She can just install it in hers, and because right is right. I don't want to just take something from her that she could have used elsewhere, so on herself or whatever. So I'm gonna drop that off to her when we finish eating. And it's raining, so we can't really go to the flea market today. So we'll probably be going home. I mean, because there's nobody out, selling anything at the flea market. We just like to ride through there anyway. It's not like we need stuff. We just like to ride. So yeah, that's what the plan is. I should have showed y'all that lizard back there. Excuse me. I'm going through Lizard Lick, driving through the little metropolis of Lizard Lick. I should have just flipped the camera and showed y'all the lizard. Maybe the next time I come through here, I'll do it. I come through here sometimes. But that's all that's happening, y'all. That's all that's happening today. But that's all I don't want a whole bunch of activity today anyway. I'm pretty satisfied. I just want to go home really and get under the bundle up in the covers. And lately I've been doing some upgrades to my house. I've redone the guest bathroom. I call it a guest bathroom. Jaren says her bathroom. I redid that. We recently redid that. And now I started on the ensuite bathroom downstairs. I'm starting on that. And I'm doing, different things to it. Making it more like, I don't know, just upgrading. Because it's never really been, it was painted, but it was just white. Everything was just white. So I'm doing some upgrades with that. It's got a lot more color than it ever had. I've been working on that. That's what's keeping me busy. I don't know if I'm gonna show it on here or not. But that's what I've been doing. It's a super small bathroom, but it has that. It's the ensuite bathroom, but it has that garden tub. That's why I like, because I like to take my baths. I know, like for years, I just was a shower girl and probably took a bath maybe once every 3 months. I kid you not. I feel a little embarrassed saying that now, even though it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I do now because I kind of at the age I am now, I kind of feel like you're more clean when you bathe. I just do. That might not be true, but soaking in a tub, to me, it gives your body time to open up, open up your pores. And to me, also, soaking is a relaxation. It's kind of like sort of a pampering thing to me. And what's weird is, like, nowadays it's getting harder and harder to find new houses that even have tubs. They won't just showers. It's like people got away from tubs. And I'm like, no. I try to soak in the tub at least once to twice, at least one time a week, at least. And I'm gonna tell you, it makes a world of difference to me. It makes a world of difference in your skin. It helps with your mental health too, for real. To me, I think it helps with your mental health because it gives you time. Like, do it without your phone. Try it without your cell phone. Just take a really good book in there. Run your bath water. I don't really do bubble baths. I've been using like a little therapeutic soaking stuff. I've been putting in there. But I take a really good book and I might read a chapter and then I just kind of lay back and I just soak it out. I wash too while I'm in there, but I just soak it out. I just sit there and I soak it out. I'm in there for about at least 45 minutes. And I'm going to tell you, when I get out, I feel light, like light as a feather when I get out of the tub. And I say, my windshield wipers. I don't know why people got away from it, but it seems like it's a lot of stuff that we just get away from that's good for us. It's good for us. It's stuff that Granny used to do and people just getting away from just taking care of themselves, Another thing I used to do a lot when I was younger, like back in my 20s, me and my friend, she used to come to my house sometimes and we would paint each other's nails and give each other a facial. Yeah, we used to do all that. She knew how to roll hair, do roller sets and stuff, and that's what we would experiment with our hair and, swap perfume. You try my perfume, I try yours for a week. Stuff like that when I was younger. But, I got away from doing the facials once a week, and I can really, really tell, skin-wise. So I want to get back into doing that too, doing like a weekly facial. And I might incorporate it into my soaking time, like have a mask on when I soak once a week. And I know it'll make a big difference. I know it will. Anyway, I have rambled long enough. I might come back on and show some little excerpts from today. I may not. I gotta stop and get Mr. Tommy Snowtoes some hard, crunchy food. Because Tommy, get this now, I started getting Tommy like wet food. I've always kept like wet food in the cabinet for him. Because sometimes he'll like turn his nose up at that dry food. If I try to buy his dry food in a big bag, like the $15 bag from Walmart, the cat food has gone up. But if I try to buy his big bag that'll last like a couple months, I noticed that he turns his nose up at that. He doesn't like it. And I don't know if it's because it might be old already, or he just don't like the same flavor over and over, day in, day out. I know I would get tired of it, but I noticed when I buy the smaller bags, which a small bag of cat food used to be about $3 and some change. Now a smaller bag of cat food is about $5. So I noticed when I get him the smaller bags, he eats it. He'll eat it. It's not his favorite thing in the world, but he will eat it. So like my mother, when she came to my house recently, she has a cat. She's got Callie. I feature Callie on my channel every now and then, but Callie is kind of like, Callie only wants crunchy food, and my mother buys the big bags for her. So she was telling me, she said it's weird because I went and I bought Callie a big bag of cat food and she won't eat it. And I said, well, that's weird, because I said Tommy is like that too. And I'm sitting there with a big bag of cat food. He turns his nose up, he'll starve himself for a day or two before he'll eat it. And I just can't keep giving him wet food all the time. So she said, well, let me try your cat food and I give you mine. So she took my big bag, and it's been almost 3 days since I've been to her house, so I didn't get her bag yet. But I've been giving him the wet food, like now twice a day. I'm going into the wet food stash because I don't have, his dry food. And he is hungry. Like when he eats that wet food, he looking at me like, and it's like a big can. I mean, it's not the little fancy feast, it's the big can. He looking at me like, where's some more food at? So this ain't working. I'm gonna have to stop on my way home now. Before we go out to eat today, I'm gonna stop and I'm going to buy a small bag of the dry cat food. I think I'm gonna stop up here in the Dollar General, and get him a bag and just try it out, and hopefully he won't be acting up like he don't like it. So, because I mean, he's something else. He be like, that cat is, y'all, my husband is not a cat person. I play with him sometimes. I say, you a cat daddy. Like, I ain't no cat daddy. I mean, he just does not like cats. Cats are not his thing. But I thought Tommy was growing on him one time. I thought he was growing on him. But no. Because he just, like, sometimes he won't. He's never really, it's windshield wiper. Oops. He never really had cats when he was growing up. So it's just not his thing. But sometimes he give little Tommy a hard time. He'll like yell at him when he stands in the way or try to come over there and rub on him. It's so mean. Me and Jerry have to get on him about that. There's a lot of people up here today. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna run in here and get some dry food for Mr. Snow Toes, and I might check in with y'all later. All right, bye.